And you Sabres junkies thought I wasn't going to be there for you. Okay, good evening, folks. This is the first installment of the Sabres Chronicles. I want to go over the first 3 seasons in our history. This is something I've been planning to do. I want to go throughout our history during this season. I want to, I can't break it down one video per season. I thought about it. It's going to be too much. It's going to be too long, too dragged out. I don't want to do that. And the truth is, I don't have to. I just want to get to the vital points and go down memory lane with you a bit because I lived it. So here we go. Season 1. 1970-71. Everybody knows it's our first season, of course. A franchise is born. This is how I'm starting it off. The Knox brothers were relentless. They wanted a franchise. They tried in 67, couldn't get it, but they were trying to get a hold of the Oakland Seals to transfer them over to Buffalo. Well, many people might not know that, but they were. They were desperately trying to get a team in Western New York. They were very committed. They were very committed. So they tried to get the Seals there. No luck. They won their bid in 1970 to get a team with the expansion with the Vancouver Canucks when we came into the NHL. And so we right away were looking for stability in our first year. This was good. This, you know what I mean? They were right away. They were looking for stability. But before we go over that, I want to go over a few other things first. The potential names, okay? I got a few written here. Potential names for the team were the Buffalo Mugwumps. Go Mugwumps. The Buffalo Buzzing Bees. Good Lord. The Buffalo Flying Zeppelins. The Buffalo Sabres. And as the good Lord had it, the Sabres won. Also, going back to our original, our crest, our logo and everything, in the beginning they were going to go with an all gold crest, not the white one that you see here. All gold, like our 50th anniversary jersey, which I was going to throw on, but you know, I'm being nostalgic. I'm wearing my Rick Martin jersey. Okay, so getting back to this. Now, we scooped up Punch Imlach right away after he won 4 cups in Toronto, after they parted ways. And we right away had basically a brand name and coach. You know, right away we had him as coach and GM. Before we go any further, I want to have a little fun with some Sabres fans. You know, you Sabres fans say we never won any lottery. We never win the lottery. Won the lottery twice in our history, okay? Twice. So let's ease up with that a little. We won a pretty important one here. It's my main reason I became a Sabres fan, I believe, is because we won this damn lottery. Imagine, eh? Funny, eh? How 1 second in life can just be so important all of a sudden down the line. So we won the lottery. Now the story with that lottery, for some of you that don't know, I know most of you know, but I want to tell the story for some, maybe some of the kids that don't know the story about this. We go into this lottery and we have a 1 to 10 was the Canucks, 11 to 20 was the Sabres, okay? And as fate would have it, it fell on number 11. But the 11 looked like this. That's how the 11 looked. This is how the 12 looked, and so on. Get it? So on the wheel, well, I don't quote me about the 12. I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. Now, so the 11 looks like a 1 and a 1. The Canucks table explodes. They think they've won the lottery. They're celebrating. They're screaming. They're going crazy. And Punch just gets up and says, we won that. God, can you imagine? The Canuck brass just right away, because they knew we were taking Perreault. There was just no way. You know, it was the runaway number 1. I mean, there's just no way. God. Oh, thank God, because he would have wasted his career in Vancouver. Sorry, Canuck fans, but my God, that franchise was so poorly run. So poorly run the first 10 years. Go look at the Canucks history. You'll see what I'm saying. Believe me, the Canucks weren't even close to the franchise the Sabres were for like 30 years. You know? Okay. So we draft Gilbert Perreault, my hero. Okay? We draft Gilbert Perreault, rookie year, 38 goals. Sets a rookie record in the NHL that year. That was a new record set. 34 goals, 34 assists, 72 points. New NHL record for goals by a rookie. Future's bright, right, folks? The lottery was right. This guy showed up. Wins the Calder, Rookie of the Year. And also, I want to bring up, just for the record, Floyd Smith was the captain. He's the one that coached us to the finals in '75, but that's another story we're going to get to later on. But I want to bring up Floyd Smith was the captain. And also, I want to mention Eddie Shack, because Eddie Shack plays a role in our history like more than people think, because he's who we traded to get René Robert. And my dad was best friends with Eddie Shack in real life. That's a true story. Him, Eddie Shack, and Jim Pappen were best of buddies. They were all going to make the NHL. Well, my dad didn't make it. My dad, he went as far as junior, though. So, you know. Okay, so potential names. Again, we went over these. The mugwumps. Who came up with this? Anyway, sorry, but it's true. I'm just putting it on because it's fact, you know. Now, I went over the old Goldcrest thing. We're almost finished 71. It's not going to be a super long video because I want to get more to 73. 73 is the key of this video. It's 1973. The record that year. First year in the league, folks. Remember, and it's not like today's draft where we send all these good players over. You see what happened with Vegas. That was impossible back in the day. Impossible. 100% impossible. Making the playoffs was impossible even then. Back with, you know, the Islanders were an exception to the rule in 73. I mean, they were terrible, but 2 years later, they were 1 win from the finals. We'll get to that in the next video. It comes into the Sabre story as well. Okay, so the record, 24 wins, 39 losses, 15 ties. God, I miss ties. I can't stand these overtimes. Sorry, folks. I know maybe I'm too old school. I can't stand overtimes. People say, oh, we shouldn't give away loser points. No, we shouldn't give away bogus winner points. That's where I stand with it. You know what I mean? I just can't stand the overtimes, a 3-on-3, just to make all the kids happy today. And it's like, how is it fair? A team plays hard for 60 minutes and then all of a sudden loses a 3-on-3 overtime. It makes no sense, especially for the road team. You know what I mean? Then the shootout. I mean, anyway, the league, I guarantee you, will be getting rid of the shootout. This, you know. All right. Again, 217 goals for. I'm going to shut up now. I'm just rant because I miss ties, so I'm going on about it. So 217 goals for, 291 against. It's not bad first year in the league. Remember, you know, first year. Fifth in the East. We were pretty far behind Toronto. I believe it was Toronto that was in fourth, if I'm right, for the last playoff, and we weren't too close, you know. But we showed some promise. We closed the season out 8-3-4. Now the Sabres were bad all year till the close. And for me, that's always a sign of something's cooking with a team. They closed 8 wins, 3 losses, 4 ties down the stretch. To make that record more respectable, because if you take the numbers, that means they were 16, 36, and 11 before they closed it out like that. So it's not bad. Okay, let me get over here, and I'll, hold on, let me get out of the way, folks. Let's go in 71, 72, because I want to get to the third year. Third year is the meat of this video. We take a step back in 71, 72, which is kind of normal, believe it or not. It's kind of normal. We go to 16, 43, and 19. Really, the only difference, if you think about it, is we just didn't finish as strong, you know what I mean, as that year. Maybe, you know, like, I didn't really check the last 15 games, but I'm guessing. 203 goals for, so we went -4, we lost 14 there, and 289 against, we were 2 goals better there. So it's kind of the same thing almost. 6th place instead of 5th. Here's the key moment. In the draft, we draft Rick Martin, number 5. He breaks the rookie record with 44 goals. So we have back-to-back years where our rookies break NHL records for goals in a season. Something was cooking with this team, you know what I mean? Perreault had 26 goals, 48 assists, 74 points. Still a very good year. Now we have 2/3 of the French connection intact. Okay? 2/3. Till we make the trade with Eddie Shack for René Robert with Pittsburgh. Once we make that deal, we're going to have one of the best lines in hockey history. We don't even know yet, but we're going to. And keep in mind, Rick Martin and Perreault played junior together, eh? So they kind of already knew each other. All right, so the French connection is born. But would only be prominent the next year, okay? Because he was there something like 15, 16 games, Robert, and he's finding his way around the lineup. You get it? Last game of the year, we beat Philly and Buffalo to eliminate them. Now, the reason I'm saying this is important is going to make sense. We beat Philadelphia, the last game of the year, to eliminate them from the playoffs. Meehan scores with 4 seconds left in game number 78, it was a 78-game season back then, to eliminate the Flyers. The Flyers just needed a tie to get in. And the Sabres still were trying to eliminate somebody. You get it? They still had that mentality that they want to eliminate this team. We got these guys. We can basically screw their season. Let's get them. Good sign, folks. Good sign of things to come. So with 4 seconds left, he scored. The Flyers just needed a tie. And you'll just see Bobby Clark on the ice on his knees, like shaking his head. It's a vision I still, Okay. So that showed we had a killer instinct. Now, no, we weren't a powerhouse yet, but we had a killer instinct. Good sign. So that kind of covers the first 2 years on things I just wanted to go over, because the third year's more important. I want to go over that one now. Let's flip it over. Okay. Here's what's really important, folks. It's my first season as a fan of the Sabres. The fun begins. I put the record that year. Let's just go over the record right away. 37 wins, 27 losses, 14 ties. 257 goals for, 219 against. All of a sudden, in year 3, we got a very good team happening, but a lot better than people think, and I'm going to show you why right now. Look at our home record. 30-6 in year 3 in the NHL. So yeah, I want to mention one thing. The previous 2 years I just showed you, before the tank happened in 2014, 2013, and all this crap that we've been living since then, okay? That was the last time we had back-to-back losing seasons, which I mentioned a while ago. But it's pretty interesting that people make fun of our franchise and just don't know these things. You know what I mean? 30-6 on the road. Here's the thing with a team learning, because these numbers were more prevalent back then. 7, 21, and 11 on the road. 7 wins all year on the road. Wasn't very good. But that home record was so crazy that, come on. I mean, it was mind-blowing. Now, in the draft, and Crozer, first full year head coach, first full season. He coached actually part of the year before, about half. But then Crozer took over the team, Joe Crozer that is, just so you know. Took over the reins as coach because Imlach had the heart situation going on the year before. He almost died of a heart attack, so heart ailments. And anyway, he survived, so at the time. Jim Schoenfeld, our number 5 pick. Another good pick in the draft. Everybody who remembers this guy, God. And I marked something here that maybe some young Sabre fans don't know. The Dryden brothers, when we had Dave Dryden and Ken Dryden, when they used to play each other in Montreal and Buffalo, they used to go center ice and handshake. It was kind of a tradition that started in this season, which I thought was really cool as a kid. I don't know. It was one of those things that just I never forgot, so I put it up on the board. I thought it was kind of cool. Me and still the captain at this point. We had Tim Horton. Get some meanness on our team, which, strong as hell, mean as hell. This season, eventually, I'm going to talk about this at the end of the video. Propelled sellouts for a decade. What happened in this season propelled sellouts for a complete decade straight in Buffalo. And they said hockey wouldn't work in Buffalo. They were discouraged. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier. I forget already. My head goes, I have what you call a relaxed brain. It goes all over the place. Two key moments in our history of this season. The birth of the French Connection line. Key. Without that, we might not have the identity for that whole decade that we had. It's just so key. It's still, I say, the greatest line in NHL history that never won a Stanley Cup. Sabres beat the Blues last game of the season to make the playoffs. The boys had arrived. They were ready. Last game of the year, they weren't going to be denied. They're getting in. And it was, I believe it's Detroit that we're knocking on the door, And, okay, so we're going to go for the playoffs here. We're going to close up the video soon, but I just want to go over this. All right, now, we played the Habs. The Habs this year, and I'm telling you, folks, for the people that didn't see the Habs of the 70s, we're never going to see a team like that again. Ever. We're never going to see a team that good again. Never. Just too impossible now with salary cap parity and all this. It's just impossible. I dreamt of parity back in those days. I never thought parity was possible because I thought this would never end. I honestly thought this would never end. Habs were 52-10. This is before their dynasty. They were 52-10. Think about it. 52-10-16. 329 goals, 484 against. At home, they were 29-4. So, here's the difference with them. That means on the road, they were 23-6-10. You get it? They were just good everywhere. Game 1 of the series. Sabres put up a fight in Montreal. Put up a fight. Habs win 2-1. Game number 2, Habs win 7-3. Habs aren't going to be taken, they're not going to take the Sabres lightly in game 2, you see? Too smart of a franchise. Especially back then. My God. Game 3 in Buffalo, Habs win 5-2. We're down 3-0 against the best team in hockey. Right? No, it's not right. Watch. Sabres in Game 4 hammer the Habs 5-1. Stay alive. Force a Game 5 in Montreal. And here's the thing. At that point, the Sabres in their entire history so far have not won a game in Montreal. Ever. They haven't won a game in Montreal, which wasn't easy to do. Game 5 in Montreal. Sabres 3, Habs 2 in overtime. René Robert scores in overtime to force a Game 6 in Buffalo. Now, in Game 6, Habs weren't going to be denied. They were up 4-1. We score in the last minute to make it 4-2 to make the score respectable. This is the famous game where the "Thank you Sabres" chant happened with the crowd. I don't know if... I got mixed up. I thought it was with the Flyers in Game 6. It was this game. It took me years to figure that out because I was watching the Sabres and Flyers Game 6 of the 1975 finals. I'm like, where's the "Thank you Sabres" I remember as a kid? Years and years ago, before the internet got big and everything, I'm watching these CDs I ordered on eBay, and I'm like, where is it? It was this game. All right, so here's the important thing. Again, first win in history against Montreal in Montreal. First win ever in Montreal. Here's the bigger thing, in my opinion. Games 4 and 5, the only time all year that the Habs will lose 2 straight games. The only time. And they were up 3-0 when it happened. This team was for real. The Sabres team was very for real. That's why when people ask me who's the greatest Sabres team in history, it's the 75 Sabres, without a doubt in my mind. Without a doubt. But what year should have we won the Cup? 2006. No doubt in my mind with that either. So that was the thank you Sabres chant. Now again, they came home to a standing ovation before this game 6, by the way. They came home to a standing ovation. The fans at the end of the game were standing and cheering again as the Sabres were losing. Tell me this is not an educated fan base. Right? These fans knew that beating this Montreal team back-to-back showed a great sign for the future of this team. So that's about it. That's about all I want to go over that I can think of. I don't want to drag this. I'm going to keep it as short as possible. I want to thank you for coming down memory lane. And I plan to do more of these videos during the season, so I hope you join me for them as we go on into the next video. I don't know if it'll be for 2 years or 3. It's going to be always 2 or 3 years, though, I think, at a time. Unless the season's so damn important, I got to break it down into one video. We'll see. We're not there yet, so. Yeah, a lot of, it brings a lot of memories back just looking at, it's the year that got me into them. So, okay, I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you soon.